Clarity is not just a nice thing to have. It's the foundation of achievement. When you are clear about what you want, everything around you begins to align. Your mind, your energy, your decisions, and even your environment begin to filter in support of that goal. But when you're unclear, you drift, you chase distractions disguised as opportunities, you confuse movement with progress, you stay busy, but you don't get anywhere that matters. Most people set vague goals. I want to be successful. I want to be happier. I want to make more money. Those are dreams without direction, and dreams without direction die quietly. Clarity means you define what success looks like in specific, measurable terms. How much money by when? Doing what? What kind of happiness are you after? Freedom, peace, excitement. The more specific you are, the more your brain can begin to work with you, not against you. Clarity cuts through noise. Every day, you're bombarded with decisions, choices, distractions, and opinions. Without clarity, you'll end up reacting instead of responding. You'll say yes to the wrong things. You'll allow your time and energy to be hijacked by other people's agendas. But when you're clear, decision-making becomes simple. Not always easy, but simple. If it moves you closer to your goal, you say yes. If it doesn't, you don't. Clarity also fuels confidence. When you're not sure where you're going, doubt takes over. You hesitate. You second guess yourself. But when you know exactly what you want and why, you develop an inner certainty. You start taking action even when the path isn't fully lit, because your destination is not up for debate. That kind of certainty is magnetic. It draws people to you. It attracts the right resources, opportunities, and allies. Think about a GPS system. It only works if you enter a destination. You don't just get in the car and hope the GPS figures it out on its own. You tell it where you want to go. Life works the same way. If you don't define your destination, how can you expect to arrive? Clarity is also a filter for energy. You only have so much time in a day, so much focus, so much emotional bandwidth. Clarity tells you what deserves your attention and what doesn't. It helps you avoid burnout by removing unnecessary commitments. It empowers you to say no to the things that look good, so you can say key yes to the things that are truly aligned. You can't afford to be unclear about your goals. The world is too noisy, too fast, and too demanding for guesswork. Clarity isn't something you stumble into. It's something you create. It comes from asking better questions. What do I want? What I want it? What am I willing to give up to get it? Who do I need to become to reach it? When people set goals, the first question they often ask is, how do I do it? That's logical, but it's not the most powerful place to start. The truth is, the how doesn't matter until the why is strong enough. The method can be messy, uncertain, even unknown at first. But if the reason behind your goal is clear, deep, and emotionally anchored, you'll figure out the rest. That's why great achievers don't begin with strategy. They begin with purpose. Your why is your fuel. It's the emotional engine that drives discipline, consistency, and resilience. It's what wakes you up early and keeps you moving late. And if your why is shallow, if it's based on ego, comparison, or vague desire, it will collapse the moment things get uncomfortable. But when your why is connected to your identity, your values, your vision for your life, it creates a fire that won't go out. Most people struggle not because they don't know what to do, but because they lose connection to why they're doing it. They get caught in routines, distractions, and temporary feelings. They set goals without roots, and goals without roots don't grow. They wither under pressure. They fall apart in adversity. The how becomes overwhelming when the why is weak. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a powerful reason. Your why turns pain into purpose. When you hit resistance, and you will, your why reminds you what's at stake. It gives meaning to the struggle. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones. The difference between the person who quits and the person who wins isn't talent. It's not access. It's not timing. It's that one of them had a reason to keep going that was bigger than the excuse to stop. And your why has to be personal. It can't be borrowed. It can't come from someone else's expectations or society's approval. It has to come from inside you. Maybe it's about providing for your family. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you're not the person your past tried to convince you were. Maybe it's showing your kids what commitment looks like. Whatever it is, it has to matter to you deeply. When your why is clear, the how reveals itself, not all at once, not perfectly, but step by step, doors start to open, resources appear, ideas take shape, people show up, not because of luck, but because you're moving with intention, your energy shifts. You're no longer wandering, you're pursuing. That focus attracts clarity, and clarity attracts action. The problem is, people often get stuck in analysis. They want the perfect blueprint before they take the first step. But that's backward. Purpose comes first. Action comes next. Then strategy unfolds. You don't need to know the whole staircase. You just need a reason to take the first step. A strong why makes the how possible. A weak why makes the how irrelevant. So before you worry about how you're going to do it, ask yourself why it matters in the first place. Ask yourself what price you're willing to pay and what you're no longer willing to tolerate. Ask yourself who needs you to follow through, not just for you, but for them. Distractions are not always loud. They don't always look like chaos. In fact, the most dangerous distractions are often subtle. They come disguised as responsibilities, disguised as productivity, disguised as things that might matter someday. And if you don't take control of your attention, something or someone else will. Every goal you set comes with a price tag. That price is your time, energy, and focus. If you're not protecting those things, you're paying that price to the wrong priorities. Distractions don't need your permission. They just need your availability. One scroll, one notification, one conversation, one harmless detour, and just like that, another hour is gone. The world is not designed to help focus. It's designed to pull you in 1,000 directions, every one of them urgent, none of them important. That's why eliminating distractions isn't a passive process. It's not about hoping things quiet down. It's about building a system, a strategy, and a mindset that defends your focus like it's your greatest asset. Because it is. You have to become intentional about what you allow in your space, on your screen, and in your mind. Start by identifying your high-value targets. Those specific actions move you directly toward your goal. Then take a hard look at how you're spending your time. Most people don't need more hours in the day. They need fewer distractions in the ones they already have. Every quick check of your phone, every unnecessary meeting, every tab you have open is costing you something. And if you want to achieve something uncommon, you can't afford to operate like everyone else. That means setting boundaries, turning off notifications, saying no to people who don't respect your priorities, creating environments where focus thrives. You don't rise to the level of your ambition, you fall to the level of your systems. If your space is cluttered, your mind will be. If your schedule is chaotic, your output will suffer. Focus isn't just a mental skill, it's a lifestyle. And it's not just about the external distractions, the internal ones. Fear, doubt, perfectionism, the need to please others can be even more damaging. They live in your head, but they show up in your habits. That voice telling you to procrastinate, that urge to avoid hard work, that impulse to choose comfort over progress, those are distractions too. Eliminating them requires self-awareness and discipline. You've got to confront them, not entertain them. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being ruthless. You have to care more about your future than you do about temporary pleasure. You have to stop negotiating with the things that pull you off track, because every distraction you allow becomes a decision. Every interruption you tolerate becomes your new standard. The difference between high performers and average ones isn't talent, it's focus. And focus is earned through elimination, not addition, not multitasking. Subtraction. Before anything becomes real in the world, it has to become real in your mind. That's the power of visualization. It's not wishful thinking. It's not fantasy. It's a discipline. A mental rehearsal of your future before it shows up. Athletes use it before games. Performers use it before they hit the stage. Leaders use it before they make bold moves. And anyone serious about their goals should be using it daily. Visualization isn't about hoping. It's about conditioning. Your brain doesn't fully know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's actually experienced. That's why imagining success in clear, specific detail activates the same neural pathways actually doing it. It's a way of training your mind for the reality you're trying to create. So when it shows up, it doesn't feel foreign. It feels familiar, but it's not just about seeing the outcome. It's about experiencing it. Close your eyes and step into your vision. Feel the emotions. Hear the sounds. Smell air. What are you wearing? Who's around you? What does victory feel like? The clearer you can make it, the more your subconscious mind begins to believe it's possible. And when belief kicks in, behavior follows. Visualizing daily helps override fear and doubt. It creates a counter voice to the inner critic that tells you you're not ready or not good enough. When you see yourself succeeding over and over again, you start building new mental habits of courage, confidence, and conviction. Your self-image begins to change. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying, and you start seeing yourself as someone becoming. Consistency matters. You can't visualize once and expect miracles. This is a daily practice, a mental commitment to your goals before they become physical. It might only take 5 minutes, but it sets the tone for your day. It reminds you of your purpose. It keeps the vision sharp. It keeps distractions in check, because when you've already seen where you're going, it's harder to be swayed by things that don't lead there. Visualization also fuels action. When you visualize properly, it doesn't make you passive. It creates urgency. It builds momentum. You begin to notice opportunities that align with your vision. You become more intentional with your time. You take steps not just out of discipline, but out of alignment. You're no longer operating on autopilot. You're moving with clarity and direction. And even when life throws curveballs, and it will, visualization keeps you grounded because you've rehearsed success in your mind so many times. Setbacks don't shake you the same way. You've already pictured yourself overcoming. You've already seen yourself adapt, adjust, and win anyway. That mental preparation builds resilience. It reminds you that what you're pursuing isn't just a hope. It's a decision. Visualizing daily isn't about waiting for the right time. It's about training your mind to lead your life instead of reacting to it. It's about building the mental muscle that sees beyond your current reality and pulls you toward what's possible. Oh, motivation is a spark. It's that feeling you get after hearing a powerful speech, watching an inspiring video, or imagining a better version of your life. It feels good. It lights a fire in you. But here's the truth. Motivation is inconsistent. It comes and goes. It's influenced by mood, energy, weather, sleep, and stress. It can't be trusted to build something that lasts. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. It just shows up. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when the bed is warm. It's showing up to the gym when you're tired. It's writing, studying, practicing, pushing day after day because you said you would. Discipline is loyalty to your goal long after the excitement has faded. It's the muscle that moves your life forward one rep at a time. The difference between people who reach their goals and people who don't isn't motivation, it's discipline. Everyone gets excited in the beginning. Everyone posts about their plans. Everyone talks about what they're going to do, but only a few keep going when no one's watching. Only a few keep showing up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it hurts. That's discipline. That's what builds results. Waiting for motivation is a trap. If you only act when you feel inspired, you're surrendering your goals to your emotions. And emotions are unreliable. They change hourly. They can be influenced by a bad conversation, a late night, or a moment of doubt. Discipline doesn't wait for the right mood. Discipline creates movement regardless of the mood. It says, let's go whether you're ready or not. Discipline is built through repetition. It's not something you're born with. It's something you create. Every time you follow through on your promise to yourself, you build trust. You train your mind to obey your decisions, not your impulses. And that trust becomes your foundation. It becomes who you are, not just what you do. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop making excuses. You just do the work. It's not glamorous. It's not always fun, but it's effective. While others are chasing new ideas or waiting for a wave of inspiration, discipline is stacking bricks quietly, consistently, and brick by brick, it builds something real, results that motivation alone could never deliver. The gym body, the business, the book, the skill, the mindset. Those are earned through the grind, not the glow. Motivation is a burst. Discipline is a rhythm. It's the rhythm of routines, of habits, of showing up even when it's raining, even when you're tired, even when you feel behind. It doesn't ask for excitement. It asks for execution. And over time, discipline starts to feel better than motivation ever could because you begin to love the process, not just the idea of the outcome. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency compounds. What you daily matters more than what you do occasionally. Discipline turns daily effort into long-term success. What gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets mastered. Progress is not just about hard work. It's about knowing if the work you're doing is actually moving the needle. That's why tracking your progress isn't optional. It's essential. You can't afford to work in the dark, guessing whether or not you're getting closer to your goals. You need feedback. You need clarity. You need proof. Tracking progress keeps you honest. It forces you to face the truth, whether you're moving forward, staying the same, or sliding backward. It doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care how busy you feel. It shows results, not effort. And that reality check is powerful. It's what separates activity from achievement. A lot of people are working hard, but they're not advancing. They're just repeating the same motions, expecting a different outcome. Without tracking, you won't know the difference. It also creates momentum when you see even the smallest improvements. One more rep, one more sale, one more day of consistency. It builds confidence. It tells your brain, this is working, keep going. And that feeling of progress becomes addictive. It fuels motivation in a way that hope never could. You're not just imagining success. You're watching it unfold step by step. Tracking brings precision to your efforts. It helps you identify what's working and what's not. You stop wasting time on strategies that don't deliver results. You start doubling down on actions that produce outcomes. It turns your effort into a system. That's when growth becomes scalable and sustainable. You're not just showing up. You're improving with purpose. It also builds accountability. When you track something, whether it's workouts, finances, habits, or milestones, you create a level of responsibility that pushes you to follow through. It's no longer just an idea in your head. It's data in front of you, and data doesn't lie. It keeps you from making excuses. It confronts you with evidence. And that confrontation, though uncomfortable at times, is what fuels breakthroughs. Relentless tracking doesn't mean obsessing over perfection. It means paying attention to patterns You're not looking for overnight transformation. You're looking for consistent improvement, 1% better, a little closer each day. And if you start slipping, the numbers will show it. That awareness gives you the chance to correct course before you drift too far off track. Tracking also allows for celebration. So many people move from goal to goal without acknowledging their growth. When you track progress, you can look back and see how far you've come. You have a record of your journey. Proof of your evolution. That reflection builds pride, reinforces discipline, and keeps you grounded in gratitude. You don't need a complicated system, a journal, a spreadsheet, a whiteboard. Anything that captures your actions and results will do. The key is consistency. Make it a daily or weekly habit. Review it often. Use it to set new benchmarks. Use it to stay focused. Use it to stay real, because progress that isn't measured eventually gets ignored, and goals that are ignored get abandoned. Staying focused on your goals is not about motivation. It's about clarity, purpose, and relentless discipline. It's about knowing your why and using it to push past distractions. It's about visualizing your success so vividly that you can't help but move toward it every single day. And it's about tracking your progress relentlessly, holding yourself accountable, and constantly adjusting until you've made that dream a reality. The journey is not always easy. There will be setbacks, distractions, and days when motivation feels like it's nowhere to be found. But remember, this focus is a choice. It's the decision to act day after day, even when the excitement fades. It's about building habits that support your vision and doing the work even when no one is watching. As you move forward, ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice for the life you're creating? Are you ready to do the work even when it's hard, because the outcome is worth it? Focus on your goals with intention and you'll start seeing results that most people only dream about. Stay disciplined, stay relentless. Stay focused. The future you desire is waiting for you to claim it.